Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to show you the spreads that I have added to my brand new journal to kick off the middle of 2025. July is a fun time in bullet journal land because a lot of us avid journalers tend to migrate to a new journal at this time. Not only because this is when a lot of us tend to run out of room in our journal, but also because it's the middle of the year and it's a great time to do a little check-in with yourself. It's also a great time for people to start bullet journaling because it's a nice clean time right in the middle of the year. Your standard A5 journal, which is the one I'm holding, tends to be anywhere between 120 and 200 pages. Mine is 160. So if you're starting in July, that makes it a great time to start because you can finish pretty much till the end of the year all in one notebook. And even if you're just starting bullet journaling now, these spreads that I'm about to show you are still great ideas to put at the beginning of your journal before jumping right into the monthly spreads, because the spreads I'm about to show you are all about organization, checking in with yourself, and memories for the entire rest of the year. So I hope that these can inspire you and encourage you to get started this July. Let's get started on the first pages. So before I show you the spreads that I'm doing in my mid-year bullet journal, I'm going to show you what I did at the beginning of the journal I just finished because I never got a chance to do that since I hadn't started my YouTube channel yet. It'll also make the mid-year setup make a little more sense with showing you how I changed some of these spreads for mid-year. I also want to share because some of these spreads you can absolutely do for mid-year setup too, which is fun. I just didn't make some of them because at this point it would be repetitive and you'll see what I'm talking about. So yeah, this is my journal for the first half of the year. This is from Shop ARL, which are actually the only bullet journals I've used so far. It's an 8.5 dotted notebook with 160 pages and 160 GSM paper. I can link it in the description, but this specific one, along with other dotted notebooks on their site, are out of stock, and I'm honestly really hoping they come back because I love all of the cover designs. So now let's go ahead and open this up where you can see the first page is the name page. And I definitely recommend having some fun with this. For a while, I skipped this page because I was just excited to get into the journal, but now I think you'd be missing the opportunity to have some fun creatively here. I also think this is a great spot to put the year you're starting the journal. I decided to put January 1st as well to show that this will be the first half of the year. If you turn the page, there's just a page on the right side here. I usually skip this page and use it as a swatch page, as you can see. I also like the idea of just like gluing it down so that it doesn't get in the way when you're flipping. So you can definitely just like glue this page down to the name page, but I usually do use it as a swatch page. So these are the first real pages, which is really just an introduction. I put the year here as well as the name page, but I just thought that was a nice thing to put as the introduction, as well as this quote that I found inspiring that says, "Life is a journey to be experienced, not a problem to be solved," which is from Winnie the Pooh. You'll see the design matches my name page with that subtle gray plaid background just to make it a little different. I'm using this craft paper for all the titles with this ripped edge. It kind of reminds me of a cute bulletin board. I don't know, so I think that's kind of where I got this like ripped edge idea. And of course I had to add a bunch of cute colorful doodles around. If you ever need doodle ideas, I recommend looking at Canva's selection. The artists there tend to inspire me a lot. The next page is my goals page. Before I get into that though, you'll see that this is the beginning of tabs that I have here on the side. I have a tutorial of how I made this on my channel that I'll put as a card right here if you want to check that out. But I wanted the goals page to be the first of the tabs. I won't go through it all, but I separated it into categories, which I thought would make it easier on myself, but I sort of found that at least personal and relationships collided a lot, and sometimes personal and fun as well. So maybe I'd change some categories or not do any at all next time. But I think this is a nice page to have at the forefront for the start of the year or mid-year to just do a little check-in. And next I did an ins and outs page. This is where you make a list of things you want to bring into your life and a list of things you want to exit your life. This was really fun and definitely something that can be done anytime. I don't think it even needs to be mid-year or anything like that. It can be kind of randomly throughout your journal, but it is a nice idea to do for mid-year as a little check-in of what you want your life to look like for the rest of the year. Next is my Etsy shop spread. I actually haven't updated this since April. I'm just really behind, but it is on my list of things to do. But because I'm such a little shop, I wanted to document all of the orders I get so I could remember them forever. And I wanted to have a space for me to write down my ideas I have for my shop. I didn't end up using that part a ton, but it ended up being good because I obviously am going to be needing more room for my orders, which is such a cool thing to say. Go ahead and check out my Etsy shop, linked in the description if you haven't yet. If you make an order, you make it into my bullet journal. The next spread is something I call Little Me. This is my quick reminder to myself to really just be gentler with myself. I've got some wounded parts that I'm working on that I always try to visualize as a younger version of myself. I tend to think that I should know better as an adult, thinking like, why can't I get this through my head, sort of thing. But I think it's important for me to remember that's just a younger version of me that's learning and needs some guidance. I would never look at this baby and be mean to her like I am mean to my adult self sometimes, but this baby is still me and I still have some learning to do. So I just did the phrase, give her a hug, give her grace, take care of her underneath as my reminder that when I'm mean to myself, I'm also mean to this girl, which makes me sad. So I love having this here to kind of snap me out of that mindset. Then we have my memories page. This is where I print out one photo that I took for the month as a quick glance into my life. I love this spread and don't see me stopping it anytime soon. I'm not the best at taking pictures, but I like that it challenges me to do it because I love looking back on them so much. And each of these pictures just make me so happy to look at and obviously bring back a lot of happy memories. You can see I only have up until June here, which I haven't printed out June yet, but spoiler alert, that means I'll also be doing this page in my new journal for the second half of the year, which all fits really perfectly. And the last spread is my affirmation spread. I just wanted to end this introduction section with various quotes that I wanted to bring into the new year. You can see throughout these spreads, I pretty much used the same doodles, but maybe just changed the colors. I kept the same fonts and the ripped craft paper, which I think just goes really nicely to make it all cohesive so that you know you're looking at the same section. It's kind of like when you do a theme for the month, like you're not just going to do, SpongeBob flowers here and then not do it on the next one. So basically just kind of treat the introduction like a theme and make it all cohesive so that it's kind of like seamless when you go here and you're like, okay, yeah, we're entering a new theme. So that is it for the first half of the year. So now we will go ahead and look at the mid-year setup. So this is my mid-year journal. It's the same A5 160 GSM Shop ARL journal. It's just got a different cover, and this is the Teddy cover. This is actually one that is in stock currently as I make this, so definitely check out the description if you think this looks as cute as I do. So let's open it up where we will find, again, the name page. You're automatically going to notice that this looks very similar to the name page of the first half of the year. I personally like to do this. I like to do the same theme from the first half of the year into the second half of the year. You definitely don't need to do that. You can do a completely different theme if you like. I kind of just like the idea of like 2025 being the cute bulletin board introduction theme. Again, for me, it's kind of all about the cohesiveness of it all. The biggest difference here is just that I changed the date to July 1st, 2025. Because this is a new journal, I haven't really swatched anything yet on this page, but I'm probably going to use it as a swatch page. So that's that like awkward empty page. So the first real pages for this journal is this 2025 title page. Again, I decided to make that very similar to the first half of the year. It's still 2025 and I want that to be known. I didn't want to complicate it, but I did want to change the quote page, which says the glass is always half full, and I put this hourglass with the craft paper as the sand in the hourglass. I tried to make the sand as perfectly half as I could, and obviously I chose this quote because it is the second half of the year, and I want to be going into the second half of the year just as optimistic and hopeful as I did at the start of 2025. So yeah, it was really fun to use the craft paper as sand. Obviously it's like the color-ish of sand, so I thought that would be really fun and a perfect quote for the second half of the year. Okay, so on to the next pages. Starting on the left, I did a mid-year check-in goals page. Obviously in the first half of the year, my goals page took up the full 2 pages. It was a lot bigger. As I said before, I don't think I really need categories, and I also still have a lot of the same goals that I haven't like quite accomplished. Honestly, I just wanted to use this page as a place for me to hold myself accountable to achieving those goals. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, a lot of those goals that I put in the first half of my journal I have not accomplished yet and even kind of forgot about. So this is a way for me to be like, hey, remember that you said that you wanted to do that? So this is my place to write those goals, which I have not done yet, as you can see, but I'm going to write the goals that were in the first half of my journal, and I want to also use this as an opportunity to write some new goals. As for these little icons, the first one here is this check mark, which means I have completed that goal. This little progress bar here means that I am still working on it, and the star means that I have a new goal. So I still have to write all those down, and I want to mark which icon the goal matches to kind of see how I'm doing. There's probably going to be a lot listed in this progress bar, for instance, so again, it's just kind of like a wake-up call to myself. The next page is a new one. This is my content page. With my YouTube channel, TikTok, and Instagram, it's just a lot to kind of handle, and I have so many ideas for content I want to post. I've really started taking content and social media seriously this year, and I decided that I want to make a space to just jot down all of the ideas that I have for things that I want to post, because some of it is like random. It's not like I would be writing in here like, oh, I'm gonna do a July theme reveal. Like, that's just like a given. So this is a space for ideas that I have that are maybe a little more like random and can be done at any time. For the next page, I once again am doing an Etsy store spread. You can see that I made the change of giving myself more room to write orders down and less room for the brain dump because I just wasn't using it as much, but I do want that space there just in case. While my shop is still really small, I want to do this for as long as I can because it just means so much to me, every order that I get. And putting on an Etsy shop was a little dream of mine a couple of years ago, so it's just kind of sweet for me to see this here. So I want to keep doing it for as long as I can. And the last page is my memories page. I already spoiled to you guys that I am obviously going to do a memories page, which is that photo in a glance spread. So I just put the remaining of the year on here. By the way, you can see I used, again, same doodles. Tried to use the same colors as well, but probably a little bit off. I haven't seen this spread empty in a hot minute, so I'm really excited to fill it in. And that is the end of my mid-year bullet journal setup. So those are the spreads that I chose to put in my journal, but there are so many ideas out there. My biggest advice to you is to do whatever makes sense to you and not what everyone else is doing. If anything that I put in my spreads that I just showed you doesn't make sense for your life, don't include that. You may end up making something that doesn't make sense with your lifestyle or something that you think would be fun to do, but then you find out that it's not helpful, not fun, and that's okay. Sometimes we realize things didn't work for us too late, but that's why we learn from it and just don't do it for next time. There's a learning curve with bullet journaling and like finding the system that works for you, but at least to start, please do not overwhelm yourself with unrealistic expectations. I think that's the biggest mistake people make with bullet journaling and why they get discouraged so quickly. I would advise you to have fun first and foremost, and along the way, as you figure it out, you can kind of understand what's going to work for you and what's going to improve your lifestyle. But again, I hope my video did inspire you in some way and get you excited about bullet journaling. If you like what you see, make sure you subscribe for a lot more bullet journal inspirations and tips. I'm having so much fun creating and I have so many more ideas to show you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!